Good morning, my dear brothers and sisters.
Good morning, Father.
Para mas maganda yung umaga, pakilingon, pakibati muna po yung mga katabi ninyo. Good morning po, brother. Good morning po, sister. Pasabi naman sa kanila. Magandang umaga po sa kanila. And of course, sa mga nakaantabay, nanonood po ng ating live streaming from the National Shrine of the Sacred Heart here in Makati, wherever you are, a blessed Sunday po and good morning din po sa inyo. My dear friends, as I was saying po kanina, we are happy that today we're going to have this young men, dadamit po sila mamaya. And it's a very important thing for us kasi every time po may mga bata who come to church, hindi lang po yung mga sakristan, mga anak po ninyo, mga apo po ninyo, o mga younger brother or sister po ninyo, it is always a good thing. It is because always ang kabutihan po nakakahawa. When you go to church and you hear good things and you see good people, nakakahawa po ang kabutihan. Kaya nga hindi ba, when you go to church, seeing people who are praying, parang ikaw din, ang sarap mag-pray. Kasi nakakahawa ang kabutihan, nakakahawa po ang kabanalan. Kaya we thank God na ang mga batang ito, hopefully, as they expose themselves more in the church, yung mga kabutihan po, they hear from the gospel, yung mga kasama po nila in the ministry, and even for the people who go to church, seeing how people pray, ang mga batang ito, they grow more on the love of God. My dear friends, hindi po minsan sa akin na nagpa-bless ang mga tao here sa side po ng simbahan sa may sacristy, nag-pray over, at ang request, Father, ipag-pray mo naman kami. Ipag-pray mo po ako. Mag-a-abroad po kasi ako. And when people would come, and I would often ask, bakit po? Ba't kayo mag-a-abroad? Saan kayo pupunta? Ang madalas sagot sa akin, Father, kailangan po magtrabaho. Kasi nga po, medyo kulang na po yung kinikita ko, at siguro sa ibang bansa, merong greener pasture. I can provide more sa aking pamilya na lumalaki. Yung mga anak ko po, nagmamature na, magiging college na, feeling ko po, kukulangin na. May mga ganun pong mga request o dahilan why people would go abroad. But once in a while, I would hear people say to me, ang dahilan kung bakit nag-abroad, Father, suko na po ako. Sinukuan ko na ang Pilipinas. May mga tao pong ganoon na, Father, with all the things I have seen, I have witnessed, paulit-ulit, election na naman, may pangako na naman, but never nagbago. Bagong tao sa posisyon, sa gobyerno, same. Kung ano ba yung mangyari, paulit-ulit, ganoon na naman ang nangyayari. Walang nagbabago. Parang nakakalungkot, nakakasawa. At Father, sadly, ako po, suko na. There are people, sadly, who have given up on the Philippines. Kaya po, umalis ng ibang bansa. Pero alam po ba ninyo, at some point, I have read this political analyst who was talking about giving up on their nation. This political analyst, siya po ay non-partisan, pero ang sabi niya, alam nyo ba, our country as a nation is quite young. Yun po yung kanyang analysis. Although ang ating pong bansa, we have gained independence noon pong 1896, 1898, noon pong tayo ng mga Espanyol. Pero ang totoo po niyan, between then, noon pong 1896 until now, may mga mananako po tayo, yung mga Hapon, yung mga Amerikano. It was only 1946, tayo po ay talagang naging malaya. After 1946, the Filipinos, in a way, we have come to experience how it is to govern our own country. So more or less, mga 80 years pa lang po. Ang bansang US, ang sabi po ng analyst na ito, ngayon po, they're going to celebrate 250 years as a nation. At ang sabi niya, dumaan din sila sa lahat ng pinagdaanan natin. Yung korupsyon, pamumulitika, yung away-away, yung mga pagsubok sa lipunan, yung mga sakit, mga pandemya, lahat yan. Ang bawat bansa dumadaan diyan. Of course, may kanya-kanyang style ng mga leader. But the point is, we go through them, and hopefully, we grow and we learn. Yes, we are still young and we are learning. At some point, ang sabi niya, do not give up on the Philippines. Yes, we are doing things wrong, maybe now, but hopefully we learn from them as a nation. Hindi lang po yung mga leader, kung hindi mismo yung mga tao, on how we vote, on how we would live our lives. We are still learning. Never give up on your country. My dear friends, you might ask, anong kinalaman yan, Father, sa Ebanghelyo po ngayon pong linggong ito, this fourth Sunday of Lent? Ang Ebanghelyo po ngayong linggo, this one talks about the story of the prodigal son, which for many of us, if not all, is very much familiar. Mayroong isang tatay, mayroong dalawang anak, yung bunso, yung mana, hiningi na, buhay pa yung tatay niya. Pero yung manang ito, ginamit lang, nilustay para magkaroon ng buhay na, well, mabisyo. Until finally, naubos po yung lahat ng kanyang mana. And then, meron pong panganay naman na kapatid na nagtatampo kasi, nung bumalik yung bunsong anak na matapos kunin yung lahat ng kanyang mana, tinanggap ng tatay at pinakain pa, nagpaparty pa. My dear friends, this gospel actually came out, this parable came out, when the Lord was asked, why does the Lord dine or eat with sinners? Bakit ang Panginoon nyo, ang teacher ninyo, ang tanong ng mga Fariseo dun sa mga alagad ni Kristo, bakit yung Jesus na yan, He would eat with sinners? Hindi ba siya nahihiya? He calls himself teacher, rabbi, ang mga kasama niya, mga makasalanan, prostitutes, tax collectors, mga taksil ng bayan, nakakahiya. My dear friends, it is actually Christ's gesture showing God's principle. God never gives up on sinners. God never gives up on sinners. Totoo po, ang Diyos galit po sa sin. Because sin is what would lead us away from the Lord. And when we are away from the Lord, tayo po ay out of His protection. Because we were the ones who chose to be away from Him. How can He protect us? How can He provide for us when tayo pong mismo mga tao ayaw na lumayo sa Kanya? Kaya nga, God is against sin, but not the sinner. The moment man realizes he has committed sin, the moment man humbles himself before the Lord, there is no sin that God will not forgive. Kahit na yung tao'y hiyang-hiya at wala nang may harap na mukha sa Diyos, as what we have heard in the gospel. Imagine this prodigal son ang sabi when he came back to his father, please do not anymore treat me as one of your children, as one of your son. Treat me as a slave. Nakakahiya yung ginawa ko. Wala akong mukhang iyaharap sa inyo. But for God, walang pagkakasalang hindi mapatawad. God never gives up on sinners. Patunayan po, mga minamahal na kapatid, ito po ang weapon ng demonyo. Sin and lie. I would like to underline and emphasize on that. Ang weapon po ng demonyo, sin and lie. He would lead you to sin that you may be away from the Lord. And then he would tell a lie to you and say to you, wala ka ng pag-asa. God no longer loves you and you can no longer be forgiven. That is a lie. We all know, yung pinakamadilim na karanasan po ng tao, God can make the most beautiful day out of it. The most shameful, embarrassing sin that man can commit, God can make grace out of it if we only let God. Ang sabi nga po ng isang expression, God can make straight lines out of crooked ones. God is so creative, resourceful, and powerful that yung pinakamasamang sin at pinaka-hopeless na okasyon, God can make grace grow from it. God is so powerful, and before God, the devil is powerless. Alam po ng demonyo yan, wala siyang kalaban-laban sa Diyos. Kung kaya ang kanyang style na lang, lokohin ka, magsinungaling sa iyo, wala ka ng pag-asa. Hindi ka na mahal ng Diyos. Huwag ka nang babalik. Nakakahiya yung ginawa mo. But there is no sin that God cannot forgive. As what we have seen in the gospel, malayo ka pa, nag-iisip ka palang magbalik loob, nag-aantay na yung Diyos. At pag nagsimula ka nang lumapit sa Kanya, sasalubungin ka ng Diyos. Hindi ikaw ang kailangan magtakbo palapit sa Diyos. Ang Diyos ang tatakbo, sasalubungin ka, yayakapin ka. And God tells you, inaantay kita. Hindi kita sinukuan. Mabuti na lang, hindi mo sinukuan ang pag-ibig ko sa iyo. My dear brothers and sisters, indeed, sometimes, we would come to that occasion, yung ating bansa, gusto mo nang sukuan. Yung Pilipinas, no, with all these partisan, political things nangyayari, no? Walang kulay-kulay po sa simbahan. Anumang kulay mo. Pero with all these things I know, and I'm sure all of us would want to have a prosperous, peaceful Philippines. Kanya-kanya tayo ng paniniwala dito. But all of us would want to have a prosperous Philippines. At habang nag-aaway tayo, sana part yan, huwag mong sukuan ang Pilipinas. We learn from it to forgive, to understand, to listen. At ganyan na ganyan din po ang atin pong sariling buhay. You will fall, you will fail, you will sin. Kahit na ngayong araw na ito, humingi ka ng tawad. Next week, hikaya mo ng tawad. Parang you want to say, ayoko na, parang nakaya na kay Lord. I would say, go to confession, tapos again, I would sin. I have no more face to face the Lord. I have no more dignity. But then, today, God tells you, God never gives up on you. Do not give up on yourself. Ang Diyos, papatawarin ka. Learn also to forgive yourself. Ang Diyos, inaantay ka. Ang kailangan mo lang, humakbang pabalik sa Kanya. And this season of Lent is all about going back to God. Siguro po kung may mga ilan sa atin na hanggang ngayon, matagal-tagal nang hindi na nakapag-kumpisal, baka po ito na po yung sign that you're going to hear it being said in the Mass. God has been waiting for you. God has never given up on you. Go back to God, and He will embrace you. And He will tell you, I have never given up on you. I love you. My dear friends, this season of Lent, may we intensify our desire to go back to God and follow God. Yes, God hates sin, but God never hated the sinner. When we humble before Him, when we go back to Him, when we confess our sins, He's going to embrace us and tells us, I have been waiting for you. I welcome you back, and I love you.